Hello and welcome. You're watching Demon TV and welcome to our second instalment of Meet the Candidates. Tonight we're looking at the candidates for Equality and Diversity Executive, and so we can give you a chance to get to know them, and we'll be asking them some questions, and you can also submit your questions along as well. I'm Lawrence.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're going to be taking you through the evening. So, Maddie, would you like to introduce our candidates for this evening?
Yes. So our first candidate is can't actually remember where the list is. Trying to find the list of names. I can't find them, Lawrence. Having a bit of technical difficulty right now. My Wi-Fi is not great, so I may crash out at any point. My apologies. Trying to find. I can't find the name. Is it all right if you do it?
Not to worry. We have Marisha.
Hello.
Hello. Ariane.
Hi there.
Edwina.
Hi guys.
Albina. And Stacey.
Hi.
Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, first of all, we'd just like to ask you the question, why are you all standing for the role of Equality and Diversity Executive? And can we start with Marisha, please?
Well, for myself, I just saw it as an opportunity for one to put myself out there. And I come from an island where everybody's culture is basically infused to make one culture. So I take a piece of home and I saw how diverse DMU was, and I just think that I can just add to it.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you. And Edwina?
So basically, I'm already your BAME representative, so I'd like to continue that with you guys, and I want to look at the positive side of things. So I want to introduce more cultures. I want to look at the fashions, the traditions, the festivals, the events, and kind of just make it a bit more fun, a bit more engaging, whilst also raising awareness and showing you guys what the world can offer.
Fantastic. Thank you. Ariane.
Hi, so I just love being active in the student community. I think that's a really good thing about being a student and helping other students at the same time. Also, as an ethnic minority myself, I have experienced quite a few different things relating to inequalities and stuff. And so I feel like it would be really good to bring my experience into the role and to raise awareness more of the different cultures, as Adrina said, similar to what I would like to do, which is basically just to try and raise awareness of different cultures before we make preconceptions and bring in our stereotypes maybe into what we think about other people. So yeah, I would just like to challenge stereotypes and yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Albina?
Hi, I'm applying for the position because I find myself quite passionate, and when I have a challenge, it keeps me going, as well as I get satisfaction from doing a great thing for people, for the society that are in need. I find that my nature is helping people, and that's what I've always been doing. And that was my compass of life to move forward when I didn't know where to go, is to help others. Therefore, I feel I've got plenty of experience to offer, and I have a couple of ideas to add on to the university, as I've spotted still aren't there. But see how it goes. I'm quite confident that De Montfort University will be on top anyway. It's great, and I'm very proud to be a student of De Montfort University.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you. And Stacey, how about you?
So I'm a mature student. I'm actually in my 30s, and I've seen in my 8 years of activism prior to coming to uni, there was a lot of inequalities, injustices that I would always want to challenge, whether that be from what class you are to what you belong to, whether you're in a community, whether you're BAME, whether you're whatever. It didn't matter to me. My point was, that's why I came to DMU to study law, was to get that inequality that I've seen in the world, such as miscarriages of justice, which I've campaigned for. And one of them things that really stick out to me is an inequality within a system that's on the outside of DMU. I don't want that getting in. So that would be me, to create that barrier, but create a safe space for everybody at DMU as well. So that's why I went for the role.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. At this point, if I could just ask everyone to make sure their microphone's on mute when they aren't speaking, just so we can try and keep the audio quality the best that it can be. So meanwhile, over to you, Maddie, for the next question.
Yeah, so why is it? Yeah, so why did you run for the roles? Roles? Yes, yeah, no.
I think you mean what? Next question is what changes would you like to bring?
I'm sorry, read the wrong one. Sorry.
I think if we can, I think for this question, if we'll try and keep it brief, because I know that everybody's obviously, you've got full manifestos that people can look at. But what would you say, if you had to boil it right down to the essence, what would you say is the core thing that you want to achieve if you were successful in being elected? And if we can start this time with Albina, please.
Thank you very much. Yes, I would like to unite everyone, bring everyone together. I believe I have that ability that I gained through my experience working with people for the past 8 years here in England. Therefore, I'm here and willing to help.
Okay, thank you. Edwina?
For me, I'm hoping to be working on some more funding schemes, especially for the BAME community. As a BAME rep, I know that they quite suffer as well. I know that we have a bit of funding for international students and things like that, so I think it's a bit fair. With that in mind, it's not to say that all the other groups are not entitled to any, but like I said, it's just a starting point. And from then onwards, again, just working through different events in terms of bringing different cultures in. I'm going to try and get to the menu on the SCU diner changed a little bit, so it's a little bit more diverse instead of just being an American kind of culture that's got, well, cultural foods anyways. And that's mostly it as starting points from me.
Fantastic. Stacey?
Well, first off, I'd like to raise awareness of female-related issues. As chair of the Feminist Society, that would be one of the things that I have been trying to do this year. But I think as being equality and diversity rep, that would be something that I would like to carry forward. So working with DMU Security and any other organisation that I can. Also looking at equality issues around the BAME and the LGBTQ community, and looking to advocate for the voiceless, if that makes sense, and the underrepresented students.
Okay, thank you. Marisha?
Well, from myself as a biracial child, I just want to erase the lines that people have on cultures and stuff and focus on individual people and celebrate ourselves as individuals, as well as Edwina said, like with funding and how certain groups have a little bit harder to get funding. I know that I was a product of one of those groups, to just make it a little bit easier where people can feel welcomed and want to come to DMU even more.
Perfect, thank you. And Ariane?
So my main goal is mainly just to inspire people through raising awareness of maybe cultures, communities, sexes that they maybe don't know much about. And the whole point of that is, I feel like that's the first step to start making people realize that even though we may look different or have different communities and stuff, we are often more similar than we think. You know, lots of us have experienced similar struggles. So that's my main focus.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, Maddie, do you have a question?
Yes. Sorry, getting my words jumbled up. Why do you think having this position is important in general? Did everyone hear that? Yeah. Okay, great. Let's go to I'm not great at reading the names.
Gracia?
Gracia,
Um,
I think.
I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
It's okay. I'll reread it. So why do you think having this position is important in general?
I feel like having this position is important in general because as humans, we originally have our ideas of how people should be. And I just want to erase those ideas and just make people forget about that. And like I said, just celebrate people as the individual, perfect people that we are, to have the same all across the board.
Lovely. Next, I'll go to Stacey. Is it the bottom? Yes.
Yeah, that's me. Hi.
Yeah. Same question.
All right, so why is this position important in general? Well, the university community definitely needs empowerment when it comes to every community, whichever you belong to. So having this position being at the DSU is important, just to keep that level playing field with people, so that they've got a voice for some of the people that can't speak out for themselves.
Thank you, and we'll hop over to Al. I'm really sorry with the names. I'm really dyslexic. So it's sort of all over the place for me. I haven't been reading a lot, you know. Same question. Sorry.
Yes, I think this role is very important because there are people that are coming from foreign countries, loads of international students that are outside. They come in to the lecture, and that's all they know. They don't like. Looking at myself, I didn't know when I came to university for the first year, I didn't know that there was DSU, because I wasn't familiar with universities, and I would like to target people when I see that they're not participating in life of university, identify them and bring them over. I believe that's what is missing. It's started to improve very well from it's went digital with lockdown, which I'm quite impressed with. But it's still more to improve, I believe.
Next is Ed. Sorry, again with the names. I'm not.
That's all right. It's Edwina, but that's fine.
Edwina.
I think for me, I think it's important because, like Ariane said, I think that's your name. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but we are pretty much like all together. So you know what one goes through, similar people would have gone through it as well. So having that support from, you know, having that support available and students knowing that they can get that, especially when it comes to whether it's different religion, whether it's a different kind of field, so whether you're BAME, from the LGBT community, you know, just knowing that someone is there to help you walk through it and to actually be there for you. I think that's quite important because it helps you overcome probably some of like the issues, like Albina said, you know, the issues that people, if you don't know, and you're like a first-time student, whether you're international or women or whatever, you know, there's someone there for you, pretty much. I think it's important to know, pretty much know that.
Yeah. Last but certainly not least, Ariane, is that right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Ariane. Yeah, so yeah, so I think this position is very important because DMU is already quite a diverse community, and I feel like that needs to be maintained. So also, you know, even though there are a lot of diverse communities, maybe we don't all know about the the different groups of people, the sexes, the religions, the races, cultures, everything. And I feel like having this role really gives you the opportunity, as Adrina said, to have that kind of support system. And I feel like this role is very essential for that. It will be the main touch of support for everyone who feels kind of as if they don't have a voice. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much for all your answers. Lovely. Back to you, Lawrence.
Okay, thank you. So next question is, why do you think you are the ideal candidate for the role? Can we go to Stacey first, please? Sorry. Let's go to Marisha. And so why do you think you are the ideal candidate for the role? We'll come back to Stacey.
I believe that I'm an ideal candidate because I am not originally from England, so I already have an outsider's view on things. But then I also feel like I am very open-minded. I'm very easy to talk to, and when I've also worked in hospitality, which means that I've met people from all walks of life, and I have many friends from many cultures, which have taught me how to relate to different types of people.
Fantastic, thank you. Stacey?
Well, I have a working class background. I'm the very first person to go to university out of my family. Also, with all my experience of activism, I've met such a range of people, such a range of good people. Maybe not some not so good, but majoritively have been brilliant, and have been able to make some good connections and be able to bring more people together. And that's what I want to do at DSU as well.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Ariane?
I feel like in terms of how I work very communicatively. So I would really love to talk to students and find out what they like most. So I feel like in that way, I'd be able to be a good candidate in making sure that I hear out what students really want and what they need as well. In terms of practical experience, I have worked with quite a few different groups of people. I was a receptionist at music schools, and I did work experience at a finance office, and I worked with children quite a lot. So there's quite a few different things that can help me in this role, and because I've done performances in lots of places, and I feel like that's given me the confidence to kind of speak out for other people who may feel silenced. And yeah, I just feel like those qualities can help me.
Perfect, thank you. Edwina?
So pretty much being a current, BAME representative, you get a lot of insights into the some of the issues that the students are going through. So I've been in things like student council, student zones, which again, there's a lot that students don't really know about that go on behind the scenes. So I feel like having had an insight into that and having been there and looked at those concerns and those issues, and working through things like Black History Month, Pride, period poverty campaigns and things like that, I think I would be, I'd have the skills to kind of be able to communicate to students and staff as well, into kind of giving them that voice and saying, okay, well, I know what you're going through, possibly been through it myself, so let's try and figure it out. So yeah, that's me.
Cool, thank you. And Albina?
I believe experience is very important for this role, as more you collect from different sectors, field, the more you have to offer. I believe I have a big variety of experience and languages, such as I came from Lithuania, but my native language is Russian. I speak English, and I live in Leicester. In the meantime, I know how English system works. I participate in community active events, public events. I check on campaigns that are going around in the city. I worked in healthcare in agency previously before coming to De Montfort University, as well as studied in Leicester College for from public services with the idea to go into the police service. But at some point I came to the idea that maybe police service is a bit extreme for me, having 2 children that are just growing. Well, one is 9 and another one is 13, so it's quite a bit of a job, especially when they're off school, but they motivate you in the meantime, and they show you what is happening at school. They give you bigger perspectives, and yeah, experience matters a lot, as well as I believe all the girls are good from all the candidates here, and all got loads to offer. Therefore, it's the luck chance, I suppose.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I know we're pressed for time, and we have got some comments building up. So I think if, Maddie, are you all right to read out some of those? We'll try and get through as many as we can.
Yeah, I'll read the first one from Kamalesh. I hope I've pronounced that right. If I don't worry, I'm sorry. But they ask, how do you intend to take on the difference in disability allowance funding for local and international students? Has everyone got that? Hopefully. Yeah. So I'll go to Edwina for this one first.
So in terms of funding and the different types of financial availability, given the things that we already have in plan, I think it's just a matter of fact of actually having a conversation with not only just DSU but DMU as well, because we do have to take into consideration other things such as tuition fees, and that is something which is much higher up in terms of what we can offer. It's not to say that we can't do it and we can't look into it, but it's pretty much a thing. One of the main issues that we actually students are currently struggling to get is the financial help. So for me, it would be, I'd be the type of person or the messenger in this case to kind of take it up with, not only DSU but DMU and look into that kind of thing. And then obviously it's we'll go up, well, further, we'll take it from there.
Next we'll go to Ariane. It's okay.
So similar to what Edwina said, in terms of us actually doing those kinds of things, it's kind of bigger than us. We wouldn't be able to put those type of rules in place directly. However, we could be the messengers, and we could contact maybe people like DMU Finance. In terms of including people with disabilities in general, we could still hold many different events and, like I said, raise different workshops and societies in order for those groups of people to be included, to learn about people's experiences as well. So if the inclusivity is what you're worried about, then that will also be considered.
Thank you very much. Next we'll go to Albina. Is that right?
Thank you. Yes, I should say that if I'm at the position and you come to me, I will do all the possible I can in order to push your idea forward and help you. I'll find all the ways where I should be directing you in order for it to succeed. And I'm quite determined.
Thank you very much. Marisha, if that's all right, we'll go next to you.
Well, I know right now I'm a part of the curriculum development team where we're creating a more diverse learning thing. And one of the parts that I did bring up was how students may not be transiting into university or the transition from university to the working world. And I know for myself, just with my own disabilities and funding issues, that's something that I do take to heart. And it is a chain of command that you have to go through. And I think that as students, we are all aware of it and trying our hardest to minimize the barriers.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, Stacey.
So as a course rep, I have had this question come to me about disability funding and things like that. And we have gone to DMU, and then going forward, I mean, obviously with the election going on, it's paused, but DSU would be made aware of that, and I'd still continue my work to try and raise awareness of the disability issue. And I've got quite a loud voice. I know I seem quite quiet and mousy at the moment. But I do have a big voice, and I'm able to do what I can and do my best, and I don't stop until it's done. So, or I do the best I can anyway.
Thank you very much for your answers. Lawrence, do you want to read out the next one then?
Yeah, thank you. So following on from that, Dia says, how do you intend to make sure that minority groups feel listened to? Sorry, let's go to Ariane first.
So, like I mentioned, I would really love to put in a society where all people from different backgrounds could come in and feel as though they're represented, because they'll be able to have that conversation with other people and explain their experiences and really get to know, firstly, other people's backgrounds so that they feel represented, but also so that they feel supported themselves by the other students. So I feel like that's a way to really help underrepresented people. Also, well, yeah, that's all I can think of for now. But
no, that's great. Thank you, Edwina.
I think for me, again, I'm going to bring out the whole of the festivals and the events, because I'm quite keen on highlighting the positive of things, because it's not to say, like I keep saying, we're going to ignore the negative. We're not, but in terms of representing them, I think, like Ariane said, societies is a good place to start. I do think in terms of staff, we'll probably look at it as well and how they deal with students, and the representation in terms of grades and how they, if there's an equal balance in that. But I think that, again, with events such as workshops, it could even just be, cooking shows or fashion events, just to get a bit more of the culture, just to get a bit more of the styles, the different traditions to come out. So people, again, as much as it can be fun, it can also encourage students and support them in saying, okay, you do have a voice, you do, have a place at DMU, you do, whatever you do, it matters where you come from, it matters, those traditions matter, your culture matters. So it's about, bringing them forward and saying, okay, well, here's your platform, here's your voice, use it, and shine your light, pretty much. So that's the way I'd do it, putting on events to kind of highlight them.
Okay, thank you. Albina?
Yes, I would like to find a tailored approach to each student that isn't active on the course, and I would be looking into involving those who aren't involved yet, as well as involving those who are involved, to bring those people in. It's again uniting it, but making it active, and that all the students are aware that there is a equality and diversity executive that they can go to, and they exactly know what they can get from that, and they have to have the confidence that they'll get it.
I don't quite know where Lawrence has gone, but he'll be back with us soon. Who hasn't answered the question yet? Okay, we'll go to Stacey first, if that's okay.
So Edwina hit the nail on the head there when she said about societies, and I think one of the things is with societies, we need to be raising more awareness of United Nations International Days. That's what I've been doing with Street Law, is raising little awarenesses through social media. But I'd be giving an introduction to that, and possibly some extra diversity training and explaining all the different BAME communities as well. And then I would potentially try and extend that to induction weeks for first year students, so they get a feel as to what DMU is all about.
Thank you very much. And Marisha?
So like I know I keep on bringing it up, but like I said, in Bermuda, we do this thing called Bermuda Day, where it's just a parade where we just celebrate all the cultures and celebrate what makes each individual culture to make this one big Bermudaful thing. So that's something that I would like to bring to DMU and make it like a DMU parade where each culture gets to have their thing. I also would like to do like social events where you not only have games and food from each culture, but you can have talks, religions, views, and just have an open door policy where whenever somebody needs help or has an idea, that they can just reach us and we can set fire to it and let it go.
Thank you very much. We'll read, I think, one more question from the comments. Should we, Lawrence? Don't know whether his internet's there or not. Give it a minute. Yes, no, he's gone. Right. So we'll go on. What are the benefits of voting in the election? We'll go to Edwina, if that's okay.
Oh, the benefits of voting. I would say, voting is really a chance for students to get to pick on, what it is that they want to, pretty much to pick on a representative, who is likely to show them, who's likely to not show them is not the right word, but to kind of just represent them in the way that their voice will be heard, pretty much. So it's a chance for them to kind of see what it is that each candidate has to offer, and based on manifestos, posters, campaigns and things like that, it's pretty much seeing, is it suiting what it is that you want to change within DMU. That's my take on it.
Thank you very much. Now this is our last question. I'm pinging left, right, and centre. So your answers, if that's okay, can be a little bit short. Does anybody need to have the question reread? Because I know that some people dropped out because of internet connections.
Yeah, please.
So the question was, what are the benefits of voting in the election? So we'll go to Stacey next, if that's okay.
Well, the benefit of an election in general is to have your voice heard. And I think when you are decided on which candidate you want, whether it's anyone in this chat at all, you standing up for yourself and saying, look, this is what I'm going to be doing. And that's what you're going to be doing in the real world. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So that's for me anyway.
Thank you very much. Marisha, we'll have you next.
The importance of voting for me is that you can't expect change if you don't want to be a part of it. So if you want your voice heard and if you want change to happen, then you should vote.
Thank you very much. We'll go to Ariane, please.
Yeah, I just want to say that voting is definitely a good way to get your voice heard. And it's just a way of showing that you can make a strong decision and who you want to stand up for. So it's kind of just reflective of you, the type of people that you choose to vote for and everything. That's reflective of your own values and your own views. So yeah, I would just say vote wisely for the people that you think will make the most change and will be the best for that. So yeah.
Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least, we have Albina. I got it right last time, but
Albina. Yes, I should say that elections do promote competition. They do bring the person out, motivate to show the person as much as possible, and it brings the person for the election, the person that is really interested. You won't have people that just came there for to sit there their hours. No, this is a position for a passionate person.
Well, thank you very much for coming, and sorry, I'm just reading pings. Thank you very much all for coming from Demon TV. Lawrence, I'm going to pass over to you. Now your internet's back.
I believe I'm back. Yeah, I must apologise for that. But yes, so thank you. We are over time now, but thank you very much, guys, for joining us. If we didn't get a chance to answer your questions, then you can submit them to the candidates through the SU website. We'll be back tomorrow night with another Meet the Candidates. And we also must say, we should have said at the beginning that all candidates were invited to take part in this evening. So we just wanted to make that clear. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow night. So join us then. But in the meantime, thank you and good evening.